What are the respiratory and circulatory systems? The respiratory and circulatory systems work together to deliver oxygen and nutrients to cells throughout the body. The respiratory system, or your system that lets you breathe. Respiratory means breathing. Your body's cells need a constant supply of oxygen to use the nutrients in the food you eat. The cells get that oxygen from the air you breathe. Air enters your body through your nose and mouth. It passes through several organs on its way to your lungs. Air moves from your nose and mouth to your pharynx or throat. Both air and food move through your pharynx, but only air moves onto your trachea or windpipe. The walls of the trachea are made up of a stiff connective tissue called cartilage. The trachea divides into two branches. Each branch, or bronchial tube, connects to a lung. The bronchial tube inside each lung divides into many tiny branches. Each tiny branch leads to an air sac. Tiny blood vessels are wrapped around each air sac. Oxygen from the air sacs passes into the blood through the walls of these tiny blood vessels. Blood in the blood vessels carry the oxygen to every cell in your body. Take a breath. When your body cells use oxygen, they give off carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide leaves your body when you breathe out. The respiratory system helps move these substances into and out of your body. The lungs are the main organs in the respiratory system. But the lungs have no muscles. So how are they able to move? A dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm. Remember we talked about the diaphragm, it's what you get hiccups from, is just below the lungs. As the diaphragm contracts and then releases, air is forced in and out of your lungs. Muscles in your chest help too. You breathe in and out. Question 1. What are some things that are a part of the respiratory system? A. Stomach, intestines, liver. B. Tibia, ulna, cranium. Or C. Lungs, trachea, diaphragm. Question 2. The respiratory system helps get blank from the air and move it throughout the body. A. Oxygen. B. Potassium. Or C. Carbon dioxide. Number 3. When cells use the oxygen, what do they create? A. Water. B. Carbon dioxide. Or C. Sulfur. Number 4. What are the main organs of the respiratory system? A. Lungs. B. Liver. C. Big toe. Number 5. What is the muscle that we use to breathe? Glutes. B. Biceps. Or C. Diaphragm. Okay, so you bring in the air through your nose and your mouth. Then it enters your pharynx, which is right here, your throat. Okay, this is your trachea. Your trachea starts here. It leads to your lungs, to the brachial tubes. There's another right here. You see this hole? This is another one that goes to your digestion. That's when you swallow food, where it goes. You have a little thing that shuts this part off when you swallow something. When water chokes you sometimes, it's because it doesn't close quick enough and the water gets in your trachea tube. So you start coughing. That's when you choke. That's what happens. It goes down, literally, when people say it goes down the wrong tube, it literally goes down the wrong tube. It's supposed to go out, instead it goes down. Okay, so this is your trachea. This is where it splits into the bronchial tubes. Right here's the bronchial tubes. And then it splits off even more and even more and even more. And these tiny things are where they pick up the blood. This is what gets the blood into your system. Well, gets the oxygen into your blood right in here. It puts all the oxygen into your blood. That's what your lungs do. Okay? And then the blood leaves your lungs and it goes on to the next part, which is your heart. And then your diaphragm sits right here. When you hiccup, pay attention. Your hiccup comes from your belly because your diaphragm is what contracts. It's right here. You can feel it. Breathe in and think about filling your belly up, and you can fill your belly full with air because you're using your diaphragm even more. Okay. How pumps and passages work together. Your respiratory and circulatory systems work together to bring oxygen to cells and carry carbon dioxide away from cells. Each breath you take brings oxygen into your respiratory system. Oxygen passes from the air sacs in your lungs into your hot blood. These then blood vessels carry the blood with the oxygen to your heart. Your heart pumps the blood to the rest of your body. The blood brings oxygen to the body's cells. The circulatory system has the special job of moving blood through your body. Your heart, blood vessels, and blood make up your circulatory system. The blood carries nutrients to the body cells and removes waste products from the cells. Okay, so when you think of blood, you know we have to have it to survive. However, it's not the blood itself, it's what the blood carries. Blood is what carries everything we need in our body to it. So our blood is what carries the oxygen, and oxygen is literally how our body operates. Our muscles cannot move without oxygen. Oxygen is what makes our muscles move. Oxygen is what makes your brain work. Oxygen is what lets you digest food. Everything your body does, it runs on oxygen. Oxygen is your energy. Okay? So, an amazing pump. Let's talk about the heart. The right and left sides of your heart each work as a pump. The right side of your heart collects the blood from the body. This blood is full of carbon dioxide from the cells. The heart pumps the blood into your lungs. The carbon dioxide will leave your body when you breathe out. The left side of the heart collects the blood from the lungs. This blood is full of oxygen. The heart pumps it to the body. A wall of muscle separates the two pumps so that the blood coming in does not mix with the blood leaving the heart. Each side of the heart has two chambers. Okay, so let's talk about the being split in two. So look at your veins. Do you see how they're blue? Right? Those are the ones that are going to be going through with oxygen-rich blood. When your blood hits the air, it turns red because it fills with oxygen again. Red is when your blood is filled with oxygen. Blue is when it's without oxygen. So your heart has two parts. When your blood comes in from your body, it goes into one chamber of your heart. That chamber of your heart pumps the blood back into your lungs to get more oxygen, and then your lungs puts it into the other side of your heart, in the other chamber. And then this chamber, when your heart pumps, it circulates the blood that's full of oxygen to your body. So it's just a big circle. It goes from your body all the way back to your heart. Each pump is one circle of blood. Okay, let's talk about the heart a little bit more. Each side of the heart has two chambers, an atrium and a ventricle. Each atrium receives blood coming into the heart. The right atrium receives the oxygen-poor blood returning from the body. The left atrium receives the blood filled with oxygen from the lungs. On each side of the heart, the blood passes from the atrium through a one-way valve into the ventricle. The blood that moves from the right atrium to the right ventricle is pumped to the lungs. The blood that moves from the left atrium into the left ventricle is pumped to the rest of the body. Number 6. The heart is a blank that pumps blood through your whole body. Is it A, a joint, B, a muscle, or C, nerve? Question 7. Tubes called blank move blood around your body. Is it A, veins and arteries, or B, nerves? Question 8. Blood vessels move oxygen in blank to cells, and carbon dioxide wastes away from cells. Is it A, air? Is it B, nutrients? Okay, so let's look at this. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so here's your atriums. Here's your ventricles. Okay, you see this big wall? It divides your heart into two. Okay, so this is where the used blood goes. See how it's blue? This is the no blood is in. Is this blood is out of oxygen? Your body has used it, so it comes in and it goes into your atrium, and then it goes into once it goes in your atrium, the next pump it goes into your ventricle. Then your ventricle pumps it up and it goes to each lung. See this? Each one of these is connected to a lung. Then the lung gets it and it pumps it, it puts oxygen back into your blood, and it comes in these tubes back into your heart, into this atrium. You see? See how it's red? That means it now has oxygen. So now it's being pumped into this atrium, and then it gets pumped into here, and then it's in the ventricle, and then when your heart squeezes again, your ventricle pumps it out here. And this is the main vein. It's called your aorta. And it pumps the blood through the rest of your body. These three takes your blood to your arms and to your brain. These are what these three vessels do. This goes down, and see how it comes out? This takes the blood to the rest of your body. These are called arteries. They're strong because the blood pressure is so much. They're very tough. These are called veins, which I know you've heard of. Your veins is what you see underneath your skin. That's where they draw blood when they have to draw blood from you. That's what they go into, is a vein. It's much weaker because it's not needed to be as strong as an a artery has to be. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the word. Lordy. All right.